In the shadowy depths of our oceans, where the sunlight dares not reach, an unsettling tale unfolds, one that will grip your senses and draw you into a realm of both beauty and terror. Meet Luna, a majestic dolphin whose playful acrobatics once danced through cerulean waters. But today, she drifts in agony, marred by a grotesque affliction. A horrific muscle wound stretches across her side, a stark reminder of the unrelenting force of nature's darker side. It is horrid, it is shocking, and it is all too real. As we dive deeper into Luna's world, prepare yourselves, for what lies beneath the waves is far from the serene beauty you might expect. Mussels, those mundane bivalves often overlooked on our dinner plates, have turned into Luna's worst nightmare. These creatures, which thrive in both freshwater and saltwater, have an uncanny ability to attach themselves to nearly any solid surface, and in Luna's case, her very own skin. The wound is a chilling sight. A cluster of mussels, their hard shells gleaming with a disturbing shine, have burrowed into her flesh, taking root like invasive weeds in a pristine garden. They grow in size, thriving off the nutrients within her, and as they multiply, they morph into a horrifying spectacle of nature's parasitic genius. Imagine, if you will, a living canvas slowly transformed into a battleground, where the host's struggle against the invaders plays out in a gruesome ballet of survival. The mussel infestation is not merely a physical assault, it poses a dire threat to Luna's life. As they anchor tightly, these mollusks inflict deep wounds, causing infections that spread slowly but viciously. The real horror lies in how they exploit their host. They filter water to feed themselves, sapping Luna of energy and resources. Her movements, once elegant and strong, become labored and painful, a tragic dance of despair. The camera closes in on this juxtaposition of beauty and decay, a striking contrast that encapsulates the bittersweet nature of ocean life. Wild and free, Luna is now ensnared, a vivid example of how nature's balance is in the heart of the African savanna, where the sun blazes down and the air is thick with the scent of earth and life. A chilling tale unfolds. Meet the white lion, a creature of majestic beauty, its fur a ghostly hue against the golden grasses. But beneath this ethereal exterior lies a horror that would make even the most hardened of hearts shudder. This lion, once a symbol of strength and grace, now bears a grotesque wound, a gaping, festering cavity where a hive of bees has taken residence. The sight is both captivating and repulsive, a stark reminder of nature's duality, where beauty and horror coexist in a delicate balance. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, we must confront the reality of bee infestations in the animal kingdom. The white lion, a regal predator, has become an unwitting host to a colony of bees, their tiny bodies buzzing with a sinister purpose. The hive, nestled within the lion's flesh, has transformed from a mere inconvenience into a grotesque spectacle. The bees, driven by instinct and survival, have burrowed into the lion's skin, creating a living wound that oozes with a mixture of blood and honey. It is a scene that evokes both fascination and revulsion as the lion's body becomes a battleground for life and death. The infestation is not merely a physical ailment. It is a testament to the intricate web of life that binds all creatures together. Bees, often celebrated for their role in pollination and the production of honey, can also become agents of destruction when their colonies invade the territory of larger animals. In this case, the white lion's vulnerability has made it a target, a victim of circumstance in a world where survival often comes at a steep price. These, in their relentless pursuit of a suitable home, have turned the lion into a living hive, a grotesque fusion of predator and prey. As we observe this tragic spectacle, we are compelled to consider the implications of such infestations. The white lion, once a dominant force in its ecosystem, now finds itself at the mercy of a swarm of tiny creatures. The wound, a festering reminder of its plight, serves as a metaphor for the fragility of life in the wild. It is a stark illustration of how quickly the balance of nature can tip, how the strongest can become the weakest in the blink of an eye. The lion suffering. In the heart of the jungle, where sunlight filters through a dense canopy, a chilling scene unfolds, one that is as mesmerizing as it is horrifying. Picture a monkey, its fur matted and stained, a creature that once embodied the playful spirit of the wild, now trapped in a grotesque tableau. This monkey, a victim of nature's merciless hand, bears the weight of a horrific insect wound. Observers may recoil at the sight, a gaping, festering ulcer, a portal to the grotesque world of parasitic invasion. How did this happen? What unseen forces of the natural world led to this wretched affliction? Prepare yourself, dear viewer, for a journey through the dark underbelly of nature, where survival often takes on the most grotesque forms. As our camera zooms in, the details become excruciatingly clear. The wound is not merely a surface injury, it pulsates with life, though life of a most repugnant kind. Various insects have turned this monkey's back into their feeding ground. Flies, having laid their eggs in the soft tissue, are now engaged in a grim ballet of reproduction. Each larva writhes and squiggles, devouring flesh from the inside out. The once vibrant skin is now a festering landscape, a grotesque garden of decay and destruction. The monkey's frantic movements, scratching at the wound, only serve to exacerbate its suffering, releasing an even more pungent odor, a smell that is a siren call to more insects. The details of this infestation are enough to make anyone's skin crawl. Maggots, those infamous larvae of the fly, thrive in this devil's playground. As they voraciously consume the monkey's tissue, they convert living flesh into a macabre meal. Each inch of exposed skin bears witness to the true horror of nature's cycle, where the properties of decay transform life into sustenance for others. Disease and filth intermingle in a dance as old as time, a survival of the fittest interpreted through the lens of pure, raw horror, the layers of anatomy laid bare. The abandonment of what was once whole, now shredded and reduced to a chilling display of nature's cruelty. But this tale does not end with despair. There's a twist lurking in the shadows. The reality is that such infestations are not uncommon in the wild. Beneath the veil of the forest lies a grotesque tale waiting to be unearthed. Behold, a deer, nature's epitome of grace, now a marred and pitiable figure. Its once pristine flesh is now a nightmarish tapestry of horror. Barnacles, a monstrous infestation, have claimed its body. As they fester and multiply, these vile crustaceans transform the deer into a living horror. Each step is agony, each breath a testament to survival against a grotesque invasion. The sight is not for the faint-hearted, yet it holds a morbid fascination. How could such an abhorrent phenomenon occur in the serene wilderness? Barnacles, those seemingly innocuous sea creatures, have insidiously entrenched themselves into the deer's flesh. But how does a marine organism find its way onto a land-dwelling mammal? The unsettling truth lies in a quirk of nature. These parasitic barnacles, likely carried by birds or through contaminated water sources, found an unwilling host in our unsuspecting deer. The creatures latch on with tenacity, burrowing deep into the flesh, anchoring themselves as they grow and proliferate. The deer's immune system, unable to repel the invasion, becomes a veritable breeding ground for these parasitic horrors. The barnacles, with their hard calcareous shells, break through the deer's skin, forming grotesque clusters that pulse with a sickening vitality. Blood and pus ooze from the infected wounds, and the stench of decay follows the deer like a dark omen. This once majestic creature is now a grotesque spectacle of nature's darker side. As the barnacles feed and grow, they siphon vital nutrients from their host, causing weakness, pain, and a gradual decline towards a torturous demise. As we delve deeper into the barnacle infestation, we must confront an unsettling reality. The barnacles, devoid of malice, merely follow their instinct to survive and reproduce. Nature, in its indifferent cruelty, allows such macabre spectacles to unfold. In the vast, sun-kissed savanna, the once majestic figure of a white lion roams, a haunting specter of its former glory. As the camera closes in on this creature, the viewer will first be struck by its angelic appearance. Pure white fur, glistening under the harsh African sun, complemented by striking blue eyes that gleam with a mixture of wisdom and anguish. But as the lens draws nearer, a chilling revelation unfolds. Beneath the soft, fluffy coat lies a horrific wound, a grotesque patch of raw flesh that tells a grim tale of survival against nature's merciless hand. It is the unwelcome home to an infestation of voracious insects, transforming this regal predator into a nightmarish tableau of suffering. Insects, often dismissed as mere annoyances, wield a sinister power in the animal kingdom, with the ability to overwhelm even the mightiest of beasts. The lion's wound is a grotesque banquet for flies, larvae, and parasites that invade not just the outer skin, but burrow deep into the flesh, feasting on the living tissue as they wreak havoc. This infestation is not merely an inconvenience. It is a gruesome dance of life and death, a primal struggle woven into the very fabric of the ecosystem. The lion, a top predator and the epitome of strength, is brought low by the very creatures that many would consider insignificant. Each day, this noble beast endures the relentless bite of these tiny marauders. Flies, drawn to the scent of decay, lay their eggs in the open wound. The larvae hatch, and what emerges is the stuff of nightmares, maggots writhing and feeding on the lion's flesh, their translucent bodies pulsating in a horrifying rhythm of consumption. This process, aptly known as meiosis, is more common in the wild than one might imagine. Unfortunate animals are often victims of this invasive cycle, succumbing to infection and pain, while the ecology around them continues its indifferent march. As the infestation progresses, the lion's body fights back. We can only imagine the painful throes it experiences, a mix of fever and weakness sweeping over its once mighty frame. The immune system, in a desperate bid for survival, battles the bacteria introduced by the wound and the very insects that are feeding on it. Yet, this war is not one that can be won easily. The very act of survival becomes a brutal irony. The more the lion struggles, the more it attracts the attention of these persistent pests, creating a vicious cycle of pain and predation. The spectacle of life and death that unfolds around the wounded lion starkly illuminates the harsh realities of nature. It is a testament to the fact that even the proudest and most powerful can find themselves ensnared in the web of existence, interlaced with vulnerability and decay. However, before one goes rushing to extend sympathy to this regal creature, consider the dark twist of fate that surrounds us all. Nature, unfeeling and indifferent, ceaselessly carries on with its own laws. The struggle of one species feeds another, the cycle of life perpetually spinning, indulging in its grim dance without regard for individual suffering. And here lies the moral conundrum we face. Humans, in their quest for dominance and control, have often in the vast, sun-soaked deserts where the horizon shimmers like a mirage, a creature trudges along the never-ending dunes. The humble camel, once a proud symbol of endurance and resilience, but today we've stumbled upon a shocking sight. A camel bearing a horrific honeycomb wound, its flesh grotesquely riddled with a network of open sores that invite the eye to linger a moment too long. This unsettling tableau is not just for the faint of heart. It is a visceral reminder of nature's cruel side, a tale woven with the threads of survival, suffering, and the relentless march of parasites that turn the living into something hauntingly unrecognizable. As we delve deeper into this grisly scene, we are compelled to confront the reality of parasite infestation, which afflicts